as I do, buckaroos, and how the heck are you? Got some NRBQ playing in the background if you can hear it. A little bit of bad. So I've got this one here I haven't had before. Wildest dreams. And a little bit of bad sounds good to me. Astro Zombie. I haven't had this before. Astro Zombie India Pale Ale, 6.2%, one pint, brewed by Aslin Beer Co., Alexandria, Virginia. A beer friend sent this one to me, David. I appreciate it. As I pour just a little bit more in there. It is obviously meant to be that hazy, juicy style by the looks of it, because it looks like a glass of orange juice. Decent enough head. Creamy citrus on the nose. Yeah, I mean, there it is. Yeah, I mean, it tastes like orange. That tastes like orange juice. Yeah. Well, no, to be more specific, it tastes more like an orange Julius. It's got that orange Julius kind of feel, like creamy orange. You feel that orange, the juice, the pulp, and then you feel that zest near the finish. It's good. I mean, it is what the style is. I mean, you know. There's a lot of these, you know, ad nauseum at this point in the craft beer world. I think the style's been done to death. But this one is as good as any that I've had. It's done well. I mean, if you want your beer to taste like a food court beverage, this one isn't going to disappoint you. Tom, that was a little snarky. Yeah, it came out that way. I didn't mean it snarky, though. I meant that, I mean, those are the flavors that you're going to get, man. If that's what you think an IPA ought to be, this one isn't going to disappoint you. Hanging out on the patio on a Saturday, had some a little bit of drama this morning. I've got a pork butt cooking now. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it on when I want to. One of our cats, Eddie, we don't know what's wrong with her. We had to get her to the vet this morning. I honestly thought she'd had a stroke the way she was acting, but when we got her to the vet, she said she didn't think so. The way, you know, she did some blood work on her, and then they didn't think so. It felt like more of a, they thought it was a toxin of some kind. I don't know if she's only inside, so she couldn't have got anything outside, so we're not sure what she could have got, but you know, we got some, you know, not great news, not terrible news. It's kind of just a wait and see. We don't know. At this point, there's not a whole lot they can do. They put her on some, they gave her some fluids to rehydrate her, put her on some medications, and just you know, basically keep her home and put her somewhere where it's dark, with very little stimuli, and so, I mean, right now, I mean, we just don't know. We don't know if it's going to get worse or get better. The doctor really couldn't tell us one way or the other either. So, the tough one about this is, so we've got two cats right now, Shadow and Eddie. Now, Shadow has always been mine. I mean, Shadow just attached herself to me when she was a kitten, but Eddie was Seamus's cat. Eddie was an abandoned cat, showed up on our patio and just gravitated right towards Seamus and became an inside cat. So that's the tough part. But over the last, you know, few years, she's really bonded with my wife. So, and that with the connection to Seamus, it's really taken its toll on my wife at the moment. So, a couple of years ago, we lost Large the cat, and that one again was more mine. And that one almost, you know, that one almost did me under. I wasn't sure I was going to come back from that. So I'm really concerned. So I hope Eddie will pull through. But right now they just basically said it could go either way. It just depends. They don't know exactly what it is the issue, and there's no way to find out. So mean, the vet bill was bigger than a week's paycheck for me, so that stung. Yeah. Just a sad state on what I make per week, but yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good size, the vet bill. We were planning a trip here in about a month, and we may not be able to. It just kind of depends on what else happens with Ed. So now that I'm having a little bit more of this, there are some other things that are poking through. Right away, I was getting that Orange Julius type of feel. Right now, I'm getting some other things. I'm feeling some grapefruit notes. Also feeling just a hint of botanical-like notes, you know, like a hint of pine or juniper, depending on how you feel it. But yeah, I mean, it is what I, you know, refer to as a brunch buffet beer. You know, in place of a mimosa, pour yourself one of these, and there you go. You'll go fine with a short stack and some bacon, you know, little fruit cup, whatever, it'll work. Anyways, I digress. It's got a nice finish. That little bit of lingering orange, a little hint of lingering orange zest right at the end. But you do feel some of that, you know, I guess the knock on some of this stuff, but kind of a chalky mouthfeel, and you do get some of that, you know, kind of like, you know, an Orange Julius leaves you. But it's kind of one of those things, you know, it certainly, this style certainly has a market. And as long as there is, they're going to keep making them exactly this way. My issue is I don't feel like this beer is an India Pale Ale. It's not an IPA. It's just not. There's nothing about this that says IPA. It doesn't drink like an IPA. It's not balanced or more accurately maybe imbalanced like an IPA is. It just doesn't feel anything like an IPA, not traditionally anyway. I feel like they ought to be, you know, they're pale ales is what they are. I mean, it's a fruit-forward pale ale. There's nothing IPA about this style, not necessarily just this beer, but the style. I don't feel that the style ought to be called an IPA because they're just not IPAs. But I feel like at this point, I mean, those three letters have been tacked onto so many things that nobody even knows what an IPA really is anymore. That's an IPA. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Anyway, I digress. Astro Zombie India Pale Ale. Yes, I mean, if you like this juicy, hazy style, this one isn't going to disappoint you. Again, the only knock for me really is it does have that little bit of chalkiness, that little bit of grittiness that seems to go with the style. So there you go. I am Tom, the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom and... All right, good guy. Cheers.